Friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today, in the bottom left, as the red Zerg player playing for Team NV, it's going to be DRG. Forgot his team there for a second. And in the top right, as the blue Terran player playing, of course, for DPG, it's going to be Cure. Yeah, complete blackout on the team names there. It doesn't matter though, we're all good as we have Cure against DRG. And the team of Cure almost looks the same as DRG's nickname, DPG and DRG. If you look very quickly and you imagine the bottom right side part of the R isn't quite there, it is exactly the same. And then it would be DPG against DPG Cure. That would be legendary. Imagine if it would be DPG DRG. I think that would be an insanely sick name as well. And then if he would change his name to DPG rather than DRG, then it would just be DPG DPG or DPG squared. And in that case, I would just call myself squared in Team DPG. That would be the sickest. Actually a very good nickname in general, I think, squared. I wish there was a player called squared. There used to be a player called Squirtle, which is the only player I can think of currently that had a Q in his name. I don't think there were any other StarCraft 2 players that I can remember with a Q in their name. Squirtle. There's no one called Quiz. I think Squirtle and Quiz are the only two words I know as well with a Q. And Squared, of course. Or Square. But no one was called that. Yeah. No one but Squirtle, I guess. Squirtle retired a while ago. Fantastic Protoss player back in the early Wings of Liberty days. Actually, at the end of the Wings of Liberty days. Can't recall if he ever started playing Heart of the Swarm. He might have, but I just don't quite remember. Command Center. Third Command Center going up in the main base here of Cure, though. Enough with the jokes. As we have a game on our hands. And this game will involve some starport action coming out of the Korean Terran player. No second gas yet. No, what do we have? Well, what are we looking at, Mr. Cure? Just tell me what your plans are. I am oh so curious. Well, so far the plan seems to be to get this Reaper down to 3 HP, which is one Zergling hit away from dying, and then to quickly move back home. Same time we have a couple of cars coming out of this factory. Car 3 and 4 immediately starting as well as the second gas slightly delayed. Which means this is not going to be a Banshee opener. Indeed, it will be a Viking. Of course, this kind of was a giveaway as well, but we hadn't seen anything on this barracks yet. No quick tech lab to try and swap that with the starport. So, it's cool to see. 4 Hellion, 6 Hellion. What will it be, my friend? It seems to be 6 Hellions. He's saving up a little bit of money. And there's no extra barracks on the way. I think he might just be forgetting about the Hellions. Okay, there we go. So it's going to be at least a 6 Hellion start here. Another depot gets thrown down on the low ground. DRG remains on a single gas, no early roach warrants, just a very solid early game. A defensive early game out of DRG with 6 queens out already, 7th queen on the way. Double depots here for Cure, and here comes the first scout, the first attempted scout. Well, the first real attempted scout was that Overlord. The second attempted scout is going to be this Zergling. Will it be capable of getting in? As we see DRG being a little bit scared to move in. Not quite sure if he wants to go yet. Now he says, all right, I think I can go in. I think I can get the information. Well, if these two cars have something to say about, perhaps not. Cure is paying attention and will be capable of taking out that link before it gets any scout whatsoever. Liberator as the second starport unit coming out as well. Barracks 2 and 3 will start the moment this factory builds its reactor. This barracks will start on this reactor, so we'll have 2 barracks on reactors, 1 barracks researching stim, and we have a starport building a reactor for itself as well. As we're heading... Ooh, did not like the position of that eBay right next to the other one. Of course, you kind of run the risk of getting both SCVs locked into this, well, kind of annoying position to be in. Viking is gonna die, did manage to kill 1 Overlord total, but isn't being controlled whatsoever. This Liberator is moving in position to try and harass a little bit. Will deal damage on one of the queens. DRG not paying attention, will lose a queen for free. He was busy trying to make sure that these Hellions could not get in towards the natural. Cure playing extremely aggressive here in the early game, but is achieving practically nothing. DRG with the perfect defense. Absolutely perfect. Well, bar that 1 queen dying. I mean, this is great. As a Zerg, having less resources lost in an early game against a Terran that opens up with Viking, Liberator, 8 Hellion. Yeah, I think a little bit of applause would be appropriate here. And as there's no one watching this game, I'll have to be the one to do it. These 6 aliens once again will try to go in. Maybe I spoke too soon. 3 drones will go down. These cars are all going to fall as well, though. This is not going to be worth it here unless they get one big shot. Oh my good lord, DRG, why would you do this to me? In the dying seconds of this defense, everything had gone well. He'd only lost 3 workers total for 8 cars, a Viking and a Liberator. Then he clumps up all of his workers and loses 16 drones to the 3 remaining Hellions. Huge mistake there, and a very consequential error as well, as he'll need to drone up right now. He's just lacking the money to produce units. He can't afford anything. Look at that! He has 21 links out. He needs to quickly get back up to a decent drone count as well, because if he's going to survive a 65 worker marine push with only 50 workers, even if you defend, you're going to be dead. So he knows he needs to drone up at least the 65, 66 workers. This is on 5 gas. That Hydralisk then is going to be thrown down quickly after this as well. DRG, he should have, could have, would have been in the perfect position here. Because even at this point, supplies are still even. This game isn't over. It's still not brilliant for Cure. It's just good. And perhaps for a player like Cure, just good might be enough. Good lord, that was awful. Holy crap, he completely forgot to control his marines there, losing 16 marines into 3 banelings. And looking away from your army as it's on creep is one of the 7 Terran sins. The first Terran sin even, and we'll be exploring the other 6 Terran sins in this game. We might see them, and if I see one, I will mention it, and then I'll write a book, and I'll hide that book, and then you can find it, and through some rituals perhaps, you know, summon the Terran Lord Maru himself. But only if you do the correct rituals. And it does include whining on Reddit. A copious amount. Alright. What else do we have here? 2-2 on the way for Cure. Oh my god. It's going to be a full energy command center as well. If the command center hits 200 energy, that's going to be the 2nd Terran sin. Oh no, Cure, don't do it, my friend. Not all 7 Terran sins in one game. You can't be serious. What else do we have here? It's a little bit of oversaturation on this base, but the gas are being taken already. 7 gas to be exact. Oh, ping! That's a number 2 there. 200 energy on one of these command centers. Very sloppy out of Cure. So these other command centers also have a decent amount. A couple of mules could be thrown down. Scans also could be used here. But that's a lot of money that he's missing currently. That might explain why DRG has been capable of getting back into this game. So the fact that Cure doesn't have as much money as he perhaps would have wanted to. Did end up using the mules now, but a little bit late. Lots of spores in position. DRG droned up so quickly to 90. He's already building like spore walls, getting up to 8. Well, 7, 8 gases at this point. Banelings will pop in here and should be capable of dealing with this. These medevacs are just going to chill in the dead space though. There's not really much DRG can do about it until this hive finishes. Then the Vipers need to start, and then once the Vipers have energy, Parasitic Bomb will deal with this medevacs, but that's still a minute and a half away from here. Perhaps even a little bit longer, depending on how quickly DRG decides to start using these. And during that entire period, Ling, Bane needs to stay in the main base, and perhaps even needs to split off a little bit towards the natural as well. I wouldn't mind if one of the spores from this area pops up over here, one spore over here. The likelihood of another drop heading towards the main base is little. The likelihood of these 4 medevacs eventually having to drop into either the main or the natural is pretty damn large. So I'm surprised to not see any spores moving there yet. Concussive Shell is finishing up vehicle plating on the way as well. Do we have a Ghost Academy yet? Is the question that I ask, and the answer to that is no so far. 2-2 finishes up for Cure. We should see the 3-3 starting immediately. And that's indeed what we do see. +3 attack as well as +3 armor starting. Plenty of money in the bank here for Cure. Doesn't have that many mines though. Only 5 mines. Army consisting of good lord. Not a good engagement. Oi, 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 oi. Very sloppy stuff here out of Cure. Losing so many marines for basically nothing. Now, DRG does need to retreat at least temporarily. More banelings need to join this army as well. There's only 15 banelings currently on the map. A bunch of these are in the main as well. So Cure's going to try his luck in the main base, but there's a welcome committee waiting for him in that main. And decides to instead drop in the natural. And this is why I thought a spore there would not be bad, or even leaving a couple of units there. Oh, baneling's gonna get targeted down. 2, 3, 4. gets 5. I think one of them did manage to connect, so the army isn't as big as it was before. DRG is really struggling with all of this multitasking out of Cure, though. He's dropping a lot in supply right now. There's a lot of money in the bank. No larva, though. And the Bane count, once again, is well, practically non-existent. 4 Banes are going to start pushing in. This time the splits are good enough. Cure will be capable of keeping a large portion of his bio army alive. There's still one medevac ping-ponging between the main and the natural. These Vipers might get taken out. That would be a huge deal here. A single parasitic bomb would finally kill that medevac. At the same time, we still have this attack going on. DRG not quite capable of pushing it back. Only on 5 bases, which means he can't afford to lose this base. If he loses this base, his mining will be too low and the game will slowly but surely bleed out for him. Or at least that's what I believe should and most likely will happen. 16 workers falling as well on the side of the Zerg. DRG is in a world of trouble right now. Oh, he's going to try to stay alive as the Hydra stream forward, but they don't even have a single range attack upgrade yet. These mines are coming back off cooldown. There's no Overseer with this army. Vipers are finally out. Seismic Spines has finished as well, and that means without any ghosts, without any tanks, that DRG will be able to stabilize on 4 bases, but he's down a base. And, well, he doesn't have any map control whatsoever either. His creep spread is still looking relatively good. Somewhat surprising to me. But it actually does look kind of okay. Not too many scans have been used here by Cure. Now Cure starts working on that creep spread and says, okay, it's time for me to start clearing that now that these Lurkers are out. Continuing with the mine production, though. Gets a Ghost Academy. Not really anticipating that Lurker switch whatsoever. And there really isn't that much there. So the only option that I really see here for DRG is pushing back this attack and then trying to go for a counter. This base doesn't even get cancelled. You can't really afford that right now, DRG. Does get a decent trade here on the right side, though. Lots of Lurkers in this army. 7 Lurkers total. I think 6 of them. No, all 7 actually on the high ground. Thought we had some Lurkers on the low ground as well, but does not seem to be the case. More Lurkers on the way here. Where are the Vipers? Vipers are around somewhere. Once again, stealing energy away from this hatchery. Hatchery on the bottom side gets cancelled as well, as DRG is confined to 4 bases for a little while already and will probably be locked in this position for a little bit more as well. Lurkers from the balcony trying to deal some damage on these Marauders. It's a lot of Marauders though. Could scan and try to go for the kill. I think that's exactly what Cure is eyeing here. Look at this. Ooh, come on, Cure. You can do it. Go for it! Still not a single ghost out. First ghost is being built right now. If DRG actually gets to the other side of the map, he could potentially win the game with 1 push. There's not that many orbital commands out. This is the one thing that Cure really is lacking. Usually you see a bunch of extra command centers being built, but because he's trading so much and he's continuously throwing bio away, in order to stay maxed out, he needs to spend all that money on building more army. Here goes DRG. DRG has the same thought as I did. It's like, hey, the only way that I can win this game is by killing you right now, because I'm on freaking 4 bases. I'm struggling taking a 5th. I'll try on the left side. I'm also only on 69 workers. What actually is your anti-Lurker army right now? And the current answer for Cure is, well, 3 ghosts. Period. That's it. There is nothing else right now in this army that could somewhat efficiently deal with Lurkers. I'm surprised that DRG just leaves these 4 Lurkers by themselves. These ghosts actually not going to be able to kill more than 1, but I think the main bio army should be capable of chasing this all the way back home. Yeah, well, it's going to get pushed back at least for now. Vehicle plating level 2 finishes up. 7 ghosts are out at this point. Really feel like DRG missed a bit of an opportunity here to push. He wanted to clear up those 5-6 Marauders and that single medevac. It's cool to clean that up, but you gave your opponent so much time. Now there's 6 more ghosts on the way. Where earlier, a minute ago, you were only fighting against 3 ghosts. Now it will be 14 ghosts. You still are at a massive economy deficit. You have less money, your upgrades aren't brilliant either, and there's pretty much a counter to your unit comp. So a little bit of a surprising decision there out of DRG, one that I will respect, because he's a very good Zerg player. A lot of these Hydras are falling right now, fighting away from these Lurkers. I've been digging a lot of these moves lately out of DRG. It felt like he had an opportunity to come back, but once again, he's slowly but surely bleeding out units against this very large ghost count. It doesn't really seem like he has much potential in this game. Now, I've said that before, and then he showed me a whole new world. I'm not so sure now, though. The only real reason why it was possible was because he had such a big tech advantage and Cure was kind of stubbornly not building Ghosts at a high enough speed. But now that the Ghosts are being pumped out 4, 5, 6 at a time, we're getting up to 18 Ghosts. He's doubling the amount of Lurkers here with the Ghost. Surely there's going to be plenty. Oh, we have a big cloak as well. And there are Overseers here, and the snipes will not be able to hit these Overseers because the Lurkers protect them. The Overseers protect the Lurkers, Lurkers protect the Overseers. It's a good deal both of these have struck. Oh, nice harassment here though out of DRG. Just denying mining on this single base. He's so darn annoying with these Lurkers. He plays like a real annoying person. One of these guys that just does everything to annoy you. And he is slowly but surely getting back to a higher worker count, higher supply count as well. He's gonna go for a big surround. Gets a bunch of these Ghosts. Cure, sloppy control there. Ends up losing, I think 8 to 9 Ghosts. I think he already lost 1 or 2 before. Oh, there's no Overseer here! No Overseer here, which means all of these snipes are gonna be going off. Overseer's now desperately trying to get to this spot. I think they're out of energy though, the Ghost. And they can't really snipe no more. Once again, DRG is going to start marching forward, but these big mine hits on the Banelings will deal a lot of damage. The Baneling count is absolutely non-existent, and DRG, once again, his entire army is getting cleaned up. This Overseer is the final piece of detection that is around, but I don't think that DRG has what it takes to get back into this game. His worker count finally is back up to 84. He is on 7 bases, but Cure, he is pushing the issue. He says, hey, I think I just took a fantastic fight. Sure, my ghost count isn't what it used to be, but neither is your lurker count, and I still have a lot of bio. Decent spread here, nice concave, all of the links disappear. Parasitic bombs and blinding clouds try to save these lurkers, but I don't think it's quite going to be happening. A couple of banelings still in the back, 7 banelings, 38 more links on the way as well. The income is in favor of DRG right now, but I'm not so sure if it's actually going to matter. Once again, DRG trying to fight with just Hydras, but it's not going to work out against this bio army. Mines burrowing. Will they get the hits that they need? No, they don't. Not quite. 6 more Banes on the way as well here. Vehicle plating level 3 about to finish up, so these mines will be a little bit more tanky than they were before. Is there even a single Overseer here with this army? There are 2, and they will be capable of clearing at least some of these mines. Right side, 7 base gets taken out. Lynx try to go for a run by, but will get deflected here by Cure. Cure in an absolutely phenomenal position, and I don't think he's going to be capable of giving this one away. DRG has had some fantastic comebacks or potential comebacks in this game, but it wasn't meant to be. GG gets called as Cure wins this game here on Hardwire against DRG. Fantastic little TVZ. There were some opportunities for DRG, but he didn't quite take them. And then once Cure truly got in the driver's seat with the Ghost, it never really slipped anymore. So, nice game. Love to see it. Thanks all for watching. I hope you did enjoy it as well. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.